What's going on, everybody? My name is Ethan Jackson. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to check out the channel. While you're here, you should, take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok. And without further ado, let's get into the hoopla. Moving on to the 2-seed Nuggets taking on the 7-seed Lakers. This series, along with the Timberwolves and Suns and the Clippers Maverick series, are my three most anticipated series. I don't know what it is, but there's something in my gut that's telling me this will not be a repeat of last year's Western Conference Finals. I'm not ready to pronounce that the Lakers will win the series by any means, but I am ready to say that this will not be a sweep again. I know that's not going to happen. If I had to put a number on it, I think this goes 6 or 7. But I could also see a world where the Nuggets beat them in 5 and just kind of prove everybody wrong. But like I said, there's something in my gut that's telling me that this will not happen. So I don't know if it's the fact that I don't think the Nuggets are nearly as good as they were last year, or if I just think that the Lakers are better than what they were last year. So, there's been some doubt, and there's no doubt really that the Nuggets are one of the top 2 teams in the league. But I don't think they are as good as they were last year, and that just could be from the simple fact they haven't been nearly as dominant in the regular season. Maybe they had a little bit of the championship hangover that I said that they might fall victim to, and are about to prove me wrong and just flip a switch and run through the West again. But I really don't think that's the case this year. I think the West is a lot stronger than it was last year. As far as the Lakers side of things, I think they're a little better than they were with how well D'Lo has played in the second half of the season, and the additions of Taurean Prince and Gabe Vincent and Jackson Hayes and Spencer Dinwiddie that they got late. So I'm definitely excited about this one, and because I think it's about to be an all-out war. So just kind of talking about what I think each team can do to be successful in this series. I'll start with the Nuggets. To me, their blueprint is very simple. Is to simply do what they did last year. To be more specific, I'm not worried about Jokic doing his thing, because that will happen 100%. We know that their focus should be finding ways to get Jamal Murray good quality shots on a consistent basis, because although he has proven himself to be a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker, it is extremely important that they do everything they can to not have to rely on him making tough shots throughout a long series. So whether it's through the two-man game with him and Jokic, whether it's through running some actions for him off the ball or getting him loose in transition, they need to find consistently quality looks for Jamal Murray. They also need to keep MPJ involved in the offense and make him more than just the spot-up shooter. Because not only will that put pressure on the Lakers' defense, but it will keep him engaged, which will in turn make sure that he plays on the defensive end and is attacking the glass and everything. So, like I said, I think they need to get him involved in some more actions, potentially use him in some mismatch situations where he's got a smaller defender on him or anything of that nature. So just keeping MPJ engaged is going to be pretty important for the Nuggets. Another key for the Nuggets, in my opinion, in this series specifically, will be to establishing Reggie Jackson as a playmaking burst and scoring burst coming off the bench. This could help take some of the burden off of Jokic and Murray from a playmaking perspective, as them two not always having to be the ones that create shots for the team. But, it also kind of gives them a different look, because he's a very different player from Jamal Murray. So that means that they can run him in some pick and rolls and just throw the Lakers defense off, because you've planned you planned a defensive scheme to guard Murray one way, and then you've got a totally different player coming in and just kind of throwing things off, and you got to give them a different defensive scheme. So lastly, and this could potentially be the toughest of them for them to do, will be to ensure that the young pieces of Christian Braun and Peyton Watson get comfortable early in this series. They have to establish their confidence, not only for them, but for the confidence of the rest of the team, and the coach, from the coach down, that he knows he has some people that he can throw in there, because there's going to be moments in this series where you will have to take Jokic off the floor, whether it's due to foul trouble, fatigue, maybe he tweaks an ankle for a split second, has to run back to the locker room. There's going to be moments where Jokic and Murray are off the floor, and this means that those guys will have to contribute and make winning plays, or at worst not really mess anything up. So like I said, they need to establish them very early on because they bring in athleticism and that this team does not always have in their starting lineup. So if they are playing well, it really helps them and helps their chances specifically on the defensive end and in transition because it gives them another look that they can throw at LeBron and Peyton Watson, who's a young, athletic, long, physical defender. They can throw on LeBron if Aaron Gordon isn't working or is tired or needs a break or has to move to the 5. And then the same thing with Christian Braun. It gives them a physical, strong, bigger guard that they can throw on Reeves or D'Lo if either one of them get loose and just give them another look. But those are the main keys for me. I didn't really talk about Aaron Gordon and KCP because I feel like I know what I'm going to get from them. AG is Aaron Gordon is going to do his thing and in the dunker spot. He's going to catch some lobs like he always does and on the offensive end, and he'll be physical on LeBron and make it hard on him and potentially even have to guard AD some when he comes in as the backup 5. And then obviously KCP is gonna make some big shots, some timely shots, and just continue to play some all-world defense. So those are the key factors, in my opinion, for the Nuggets to be successful in this series and for them to ensure that they win. And now flipping sides, the Lakers have a lot more that they need to happen. A lot of those things that I just talked about with the Nuggets are things that I thought would guarantee that they win the series, but there's still a world where they can win even without some of those things happening because they're just simply a better team, I feel like. But the Lakers need these things to happen if they want to have any chance at knocking off the defending champs. And just like I did with Jokic and Murray, I'm also going to assume that LeBron and AD show up the same way that they do. I think that's fair, even though we saw some inconsistency out of AD in the first 2 playoff series last year, but really in that conference finals, he was pretty good throughout all 4 games. But like I said, I feel comfortable assuming that those 2 guys are going to show up for the most part, at least. So the first and most important thing for the Lakers, that D'Angelo Russell has to show up in this series. I'm not asking him to be superhuman or to be Superman, but he has to continue playing at the level that he's currently playing at and that he's finished the season with, or at least be close to that. He doesn't have to be everything of that, but if we just look at last year, he averaged 6 points. I think it was 6.3 points and shot 2 for 15 from three-point line in that series. That cannot happen. In order to avoid that, it's not only does he have to be better, but the Lakers as a whole, from Coach Darvin Ham to LeBron to everybody else, the Lakers got to let him be himself. They got to let D'Lo be D'Lo. They need to continue to let him have the ball in his hands a lot and trust him to be a playmaker and make the right plays and give him the freedom to be D'Lo, because I think he is the biggest key in giving the Lakers a chance to win this series. So, and then beyond that, they need AD to be the second best player in this series, in my opinion. I'm not going to ask him to be better than Jokic, because not only does he need to show up and be a double-double every game, for sure, he probably needs to be high teen rebounds every game, but he needs to play well enough to where it's clear that he's the second best player in this series. And if he can play well enough to where I can make an argument that he was the best player in this series, then I believe the Lakers would win this series. But I don't think there's a world where he outplays Jokic throughout a 7-game series. But if he can kind of go toe-to-toe with him and just give his best, that means that the Lakers did not have to rely on LeBron to do everything, and that LeBron could be the third best player in the series. And when you have the second and third best player in the series, you have a strong shot at winning the series. Moving on, they also need, and this is a key too, they need Taurean Prince, Gabe Vincent, and Spencer Dinwiddie to make timely shots. They do not necessarily have to have a bombardment of threes from them, but they just need some timely shots from them. If you just kind of go back throughout history and look at every successful LeBron James-led team that's either made the finals or won the finals, they all have had role guys make timely shots all throughout the playoffs. And I guess that's really true for any successful team in the playoffs. They all have role guys step up and make timely shots. But I feel like this will be one of those series that, we're going to look back when it's over and say, and it's just going to be all boiled down to some role guys on either team making some big shots in important moments, more than we look at how the stars play, because I think that's a given. It's going to come down to which team's role players show up more. And, just play style wise for the Lakers, they need to get downhill in transition as much as they possibly can. That's where they have an advantage on the Nuggets. They are at their best, just period, when they do that, but they really have an advantage on the Nuggets. They have a lot of guys that can make plays in transition. Obviously, you got LeBron, D'Lo, Dinwiddie can, Reeves can, Rui Hachimura can make some plays downhill. So they've got to establish their transition offense and get some easy buckets there. To me, they need to get Jokic and Murray involved in as many actions as they can. It's not that either one of them are bad defenders. Matter of fact, they're both pretty good defenders, but you need to make them play on that end of the floor. That way their legs are a little bit tired when they're having to go do as much as they're asking them to do on the offensive end of the floor, and it makes those tough shots even tougher. So, those are the biggest keys to success to me for the Lakers if they want to win this series or even have a shot at winning it. To wrap up, I want to restate that I do not believe that this is about to be a repeat of last year's Western Conference Finals. This is shaping up to be an absolute war for 6 or 7 games. I assume the 4 stars of Jokic and Murray and LeBron and AD will show up and do their thing. So that means this series is going to come down to which team's role players show up. The Nuggets know what they're going to get from Porter, Gordon, and KCP, but they still have some questions with Christian Braun and Peyton Watson. The Lakers are looking for D'Lo to keep playing as well as he is playing and not have a disastrous fall off like last year. So both teams have some guarantees and both teams have some questions. To me, whichever team can hold it down the best in the non-Jokic and non-LeBron minutes will be the team that has the best chance of winning the series.